improve their current skills.
And mostly, I can't emphasize this enough, studying the fundamentals of computer science. Because most people can code, but if you ask them what a linked list is, what a hash map is, they probably have no idea what that is. So understand your data structures and algorithms and system design. And once you do that, then you become a lot more approachable from a market perspective.
Nice. But so pivoting away from Andela and the 400 junior developers, what are some of your thoughts on software engineering as a career here in Kenya and just in Africa generally?
Right. So first of all, I think software engineers are underpaid.
In Africa.
In Africa and even worse in Kenya.
Yeah.
And probably the reason for that is because how the market is currently set up. The developers have not learned to, they have not realized their worth. So these companies are squeezing everything out of developers and then just taking the profits into their pockets.
Yeah.
So
I know that's crazy because I remember that before I got a job at Allan, I used to work a lot with clients.
Yeah.
And it's funny because a client would come over and they would expect me to build an entire application for a budget of 50,000 Kenyan shillings. So
$500.
Yeah, which is $500 for those of you who aren't in Kenya. But it's crazy because they wanted us to utilize this really small budget of $500 to build a whole mobile application that did so many things. For example, an e-commerce mobile application.
Yeah.
And then they would expect that in 1 month.
Yeah, and I feel part of the reason as well is also technical literacy in the country. So you'll find that most of these people that want you to do the work for them do not know what goes into the work.
Yeah.
That way, they're like, oh, you're just going to sit on the computer and magically spell.
Yeah. They have no idea that there's a lot that goes into it.
They expect you to just magically spawn the application out of nothing.
Yeah.
So, and you can't, and you can't really blame them for that. So the ideal solution would be for you as the developer to explain to them what goes into it. Okay. So that, because once they understand the amount of work that goes into it, then they'll also understand the value that you're bringing to them. Okay? So software engineering in Africa, it's undercharged, or rather underpaid. But I believe that there is huge growth potential, especially, and I'm not saying this because I'm more into entrepreneurship, but especially for entrepreneurs. Africa is still a growing market. Literally, if you wanted to succeed in Africa, you can take ideas that are working abroad and then just bring them into Africa, because it will take a couple of years before they get to Africa. And then once the big guys come to Africa, they find you established, and they can either buy you out or compete. Either way,
it's a win-win.
Either way, it's a win. Either way, it's a win for you. So I believe that Africa is possibly the best place to be if you want to be a tech entrepreneur and you're looking far into the future. You're more of a long-term person. Then I believe this is going to be a huge advantage when it comes to investment.
So, in your opinion, you would recommend that someone who is just starting out or who has experience in tech, would you suggest that they start their own software company, or they just go and hunt for a job?
I'd say start with a job, to be honest. And the reason I'd say start with a job is because of the things that are not coding. So things like people skills, working with other people, working with deadlines and all that. That kind of discipline is much easier to get in a job. And then once you have all these things, then now you can leave the job market with the experience you have, and you can now even hire people and know how to manage them and all that.
I agree, because in my opinion, I think it's also worth considering joining a startup, because when you're in a startup, there's a lot of tasks that you're tasked with, and there are a lot of skills that you get from being in a startup, and with that, then you can have you're in a better position to just venture out and start your own software company because you have this variety of skills that you can take leverage of.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I would recommend joining a startup over joining a corporate. So instead of joining a large company, join a startup, because if you join a large company, you'll you'll only be given a very small subset of things to do. And that would give you an idea of the broader picture. But if you join a startup, you'll be doing a lot of things, which means you'll understand how things work as a whole. And as a result, that will make you a better developer and to also put you in a better position to start your own company.
Okay, cool. So I have a quick question. Assuming that I am just starting out to code, like I have no skills, flat out, I have never touched any line of code. No, not a computer. Maybe I've touched a computer to just browse here and there, but I've never touched a single code in my entire life. What's your advice on getting really good and getting good really fast? Like, what's the least amount of time that I can take and put my resources into to become really good really fast and to land on job?
Okay, so shameless plug actually. One, watch my channel because.
By the way, if you guys didn't know, Allan Jeremy has a channel with over 1,000 subscribers. Close to 2,000 subscribers. I'll put a screencast so that you guys can see. But
So in all honesty, what I'd recommend is someone who's never done any coding whatsoever before is learn how coding works. Learn the fundamentals. Before you ever learn how to write a single line of code, learn the fundamentals. Know what a variable is. Know what conditionals are. Understand why do we use programming languages, what are programming languages. And then once you've understood the fundamentals, then now figure out what you want to do. Okay. So don't choose the technology just yet. Figure out what you want to do. Say you want to do websites. If you want to do websites, then now look into what technologies do I need to know to do websites. So you'll find out that you need HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in general. Okay. And then after that, figure out a specific project that you want to do. And keep it simple. Don't try to create Facebook. So keep it simple. Let's say I want to create something that helps me plan my diet better, or something that reminds me of the number of calories I should eat, or something like that.
Just a simple.
Something simple. So once you figure out a project, this is how you get good fast. Learn only the skills that you need for that project. Don't try to learn all of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Just learn the specific parts of HTML and the specific parts of CSS and the specific parts of JavaScript
to build
that you need to build that product.
Because it's really the projects that get you a job when you don't have like experience with school or that, which is also something that we're going to speak about if you need a computer science degree or you don't. But that's something that you really need to consider, building projects, because that's what employers are going to look for if your goal is landing a job in the tech industry. So what's your opinion on people that say that you need a computer science degree to become like really qualified software engineer? Like, what's your opinion on CS grads and just software programmers?
Am I allowed to cuss?
No.
Okay, so I'll just bleep this out.
Absolutely not.
Just bleep this out when you're editing. It's bullshit. And the reason I say that is because, one, I don't have a computer science degree at all. I do not have
completely self-taught.
Yes, I do not have any computer-related educational background. So what I'd say is, you do not need a computer science degree. You may need to understand computer science fundamentals, but there's nothing that you will learn in university that you can't learn on your own. You'd spend 4 years in university, and I can guarantee you within a month you can probably cover everything that you would cover in those 4 years in university if you really want to learn. And besides, you can use lectures from the top universities in the world,
like
without
Harvard,
MIT, without spending a single cent of your money. Okay, well, maybe paying for internet.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, so you do not need a computer science degree. You may need to understand computer science fundamentals.
Yeah, but you don't necessarily.
But you don't need a computer science degree. Everything that you need in terms of software and all that, you can learn on your own.
That's funny because it's funny because all you need to really get the skills is just basically a computer with an internet connection, and
True.
that's it. And in most cases, you can even if you don't have a computer with internet connection, all you need is just your body. Go to the cyber cafe and then look up some tutorials, and then you're well over.
Exactly. And if you want, you can even print them out.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
so there's really no excuse for not learning code.
Yeah. So actually, one of the things I'd say about university, though, university isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
University isn't a bad thing, but if your idea is that you're going to learn how to code by being in university, then I don't think that's a good idea. However, when you're in university, there's other benefits that come with it that are not exactly coding. So, for example, you get to interact with people.
So networking.
Yeah, it also gets to expand your mind. So it's more of networking and just growing as a person in terms of social skills.
Yeah.
Other than that, when it comes to learning things, I think university is, I'd go as far as saying close to useless. So,
hey guys, sorry about that. The camera just went off, but Allan was talking about universities and having a computer science degree and that affecting the chances of having a job or not.
Yeah. So I generally believe that university is not the place you should go to if you're trying to learn. However, being in university allows you to network with other people, and if that's what you want to do, then you can do that. Otherwise, you can also network in the outside world. It's just going to be a little harder because you'll have to take initiative to go out and meet people. But in a university setting, it's more of networking for the future. So you don't know who your classmate is going to be 10 years from now.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that university is not bad in terms of building a network, building connections that eventually going to be the people that are going to connect you to get your job or even to be your business partners or that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And it also helps you grow as a person. So it removes some of the childishness out of you.
Okay, cool. So I want us also to talk about something else, which is the emergence of serverless technologies that are coming in. Examples are like Firebase, MongoDB Stitch is another one. But Firebase is really taking a lot of the work for backend developers. It's just eliminating all of that because you can see that it's taking care of authentication, taking care of the database aspect and securing it in the right way. And recently during their I/O, which I think was a couple of days ago, I'm not sure if it's last month or this month, but during the I/O they also released something called extensions, which is just them writing code, maintaining it, and then you can just extend your application to use that code. So what's your opinion on going serverless, and is like companies like Firebase, Google's Firebase and MongoDB Stitch, are they getting rid of backend developers in your opinion?
For starters, the short answer is no, they're not getting rid of backend developers. They are simply making the work easier for backend developers.
Okay.
So that means backend developers can now be more productive because there's less in their way. They don't have to keep doing the repetitive tasks that they had to do before. Using some of these technologies. Also, I believe that for anyone starting out with a new project, you should definitely use serverless technologies. Simply because it takes, it literally gets rid of most of the tedious work that you'd have to do. That really isn't the core part of your application or your product. So it's also a lot cheaper to use serverless technologies, especially when you're small. And that along with cloud, other cloud technologies, then it's a lot cheaper to use them that way, and it's also very scalable. So if somehow your application blows up, then it can expand to fit your needs. And if your application does not blow up, then you spend very little money on it, if not zero.
Yeah, definitely, because it's also just mind-boggling the mind-boggling.
Yeah.
It's really mind-boggling the effort that it takes to build and maintain a backend on your own. Like, for example, taking care of things like scalability in terms of the amount of traffic that's coming into your web application or your mobile app.
Yeah.
So I think it's also a good idea to use Firebase if you're in the initial stages of building a
Yeah.
business out of China.
Yeah. And again, for scalability, definitely go with cloud. Don't try to build your own servers because that's one,
It's just-
more expensive and a waste of time.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
headache.
So,
So,
so I think we're coming to close to the end of the interview, but before we break this off, I just want to ask you a couple of quick fire questions, quick fire, or
by all
whatever
means.
you may want to call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want you to answer this as honestly as possible
And as quickly
as
yeah.
possible.
Okay.
Yeah. So, number one, Mac or PC?
PC.
Favorite programming language?
Probably Dart now.
Dart.
D-A-R-T.
D-A-R-T.
Yeah, it's
very
like
good.
sexy JavaScript. It's sexy, strongly typed JavaScript.
Yeah,
with
that's
very,
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, Dart would flatter.
Dart as a language. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, favorite IDE or coding
Visual
text
Studio Code. Any day, anytime.
Any day, anytime.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'd marry the editor. Yeah.
Just a quick
I'm
question.
single, by the way.
That is out of context. Absolutely out of context. But quick question.
Single threaded, I meant.
Why PC over Mac?
Because you get more bang for your buck. And you get more power for the same amount of money.
Yeah.
So I feel like you get more value with a PC. And also being a gamer, Mac is not exactly
Okay, cool.
it's not exactly for gaming. Also, you can customize your PC. You can customize your Mac as much as you can customize your PC.
Well, actually.
As much as you can.
Actually.
You have more flexibility.
Yeah, true. I strongly agree with that.
Yeah.
But okay, PC or Linux?
PC.
Oh,
Again,
why?
mainly because of gaming.
Mainly because of gaming.
Mainly because of gaming.
So we have come to the conclusion that gamers go with PC. But if they're into productivity and all of that, Mac, definitely.
No.
And I'm not just saying that because I have a Mac, but yeah.
No.
And not just about the ecosystem, but yeah. Anyway, I really appreciate you coming on
Thank you for having
and
me.
sharing your thoughts and opinions on software and all these things that we've talked about. And hopefully we can have you over for another session in future.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, then hopefully you're going to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to also check out his channel. I'll leave a link down in the description box. Go and check it out.
Okay.
Until next time, adios.
Okay. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified when he uploads a new video. Peace. Adios.